Plaintiffs Adam McGinnis and his wife Jessica McGinnis say Jessica was friends with the defendant until he started telling people that Jessica wanted a relationship with him. They're suing because they loaned the defendant money for an attorney and he's failed to repay. Defendant Chris Elders insists Jessica did have feelings for him, and she even called him on her wedding day to see if there was any chance of them having a relationship. Chris insists he thought the money from the plaintiffs was a gift.
Start with you all.
Your Honor, Chris and I were friends for several years. And for whatever reason, he's been going around telling people that I was jealous of him, that I wanted a relationship with him, that...
Where do you know him, and what has the nature of the association been for the time frame that you've known him?
Well, we've just been friends. He come down to the house and did some work on the driveway, and that's how I met him. And
Okay.
I've kept
Family.
this, with his 3 children and his wife at the time.
Okay, friends with his family?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
I mean, I've been over to his house for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, watched the kids open up
Shooting
gifts from Santa
fireworks.
Claus.
All right. And during that time, everything's been fine? No fallouts?
No
No
fallout.
drama?
No drama.
All right. That's a good friendship. What happened? Let's hear from you. Give me some background.
Your Honor, I met Jessica probably 2010, 2011. Developed a good friendship. We were friends for several years doing projects, helping out family events. She called me on her wedding day to discuss if she was making the right decision of getting married or at that time, and I'm not sure if she had developed more feelings for me than
How's
just
that-
friendship.
Why? What made you think that?
She hadn't asked me that before. I felt like
Did she say anything that made you think that you were the one instead?
She asked me pretty well blunt if I was ever going to have more feelings than friends for her.
No, I didn't.
And she wanted to be safe. She wanted to make sure she was making the right decision in getting married. And I respected that as being a friend. We talked a good bit. But basically asking me if there was any development in my part, if I thought there would ever be anything more than friends from the relationship.
Where did that come from?
It threw me for a loop.
What did you say?
I was shocked. I wasn't mad. I wasn't upset. But at my time of going through a divorce, that was the last thing in the world that I wanted to do was concentrate on a different relationship other than friends.
One more time. What did you say?
I said no.
That's it?
I said, I like you as a friend. I want to be your friend and maintain friendship. I think you're making a good decision. Maybe you're just having wedding jitters. And we talked probably 15 or 20 minutes after, and we developed the same friendship from there forward.
And you didn't say something like, where is this coming from? Now, I don't know. Now, why would you say that? Well, our families have been friends
Because that never happened.
A little weird.
And when Adam and I got married, Your Honor, in August of 2014, he was still married. He wasn't going through a divorce at that time.
Plaintiffs Adam McGinnis and his wife Jessica McGinnis say Jessica was good friends with the defendant, but the defendant insists Jessica wanted to date him.
I'm not going to let him just throw things out about your marriage unless you have some further evidence, because many people who owe money and there's a husband and wife involved, that's one of the lowest bombs they throw to get out of the debt. You expect me to say, no. Oh, she's no good. You're no good. Case dismissed. That's what people expect. Not today, buddy. Not today. Not messing up this woman's relationship. That doesn't even sound reasonable after 6 years.
Trust me, that is not something she would say.
Yeah,
She'd say a lot more than that. She loves to talk.
So it wouldn't just be that question. It would be a lot more behind it if it was true. All right. And tell me why you're suing the defendant today.
But in January of 2016 is when his divorce and stuff started. And he went home after work one day, and his house was empty. Nothing was in it. No furniture, no clothes, no children, no spices in the cabinet.
She took the spices?
She took the cereal and the spices.
The cereal and the
spices out of his house.
Even his clothes.
And some of his clothes. And there was only a note that said, sorry. So he called us, and Adam and I went to the house, and we basically went on a manhunt. We were going up and down the street, knocking
his
on
wife?
the doors for the children.
Oh,
We
Because
weren't looking for my wife, Your Honor.
No, we were worried about the
we
children.
were worried about the
at
children
time.
because she took off with all 3 children, cell phones off, no communication. When I called, the cell phone was off. So we basically went door to door knocking to anybody, people he'd done work for in the past, anybody that would know where the children may be. So that's when I let him borrow the money because he
but
needed.
what did you come to find?
She was gone.
Still hasn't showed up?
As of now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She's showing up now because I let him borrow the money, and that
But
was
where had she gone? Where had she run
Columbia,
off?
South Carolina.
Okay,
About
did your
100
wife
miles.
run off on you and why?
She ran off on me. She was not happy. Obviously, I didn't talk enough, or I talked too much to her. And she took the kids, and she went on a adventure of her own that I guess she took some bad advice for some friends down in the lower part of the state. And it took calling local authorities to ask the question, you're legally married, our hands are tied, go through family court, which is what I did. Going through family court's not free. And that's when I turned to Jessica and Adam for assistance.
But I still want to delve, I'm just being nosy, I guess, but I want to know what type of conversation you all had. She's just, I'm not happy, and left. And what'd you do to her? What'd you do to this woman to make her do all of that?
Obviously not spending enough time with her and working.
They
He didn't
don't
shave his
run off
beard.
like that. They don't run off.
He wouldn't
She
shave
said
his
he wouldn't
beard.
shave his
He wouldn't shave his beard.
I know, man. I don't believe the woman is that bad. She get him at night before she ran. She
Your
cut
Honor,
it at night before she ran off on him.
That's actually a true statement, Your Honor.
True statement.
True statement. That,
Your wife left you because
I
you
totally
wouldn't cut your
disgusted her
beard.
because she did not like a man with facial hair.
Did she warn you?
She warned me several times, but I didn't take that as a legitimate threat that she would take off with all the furniture and, most importantly,
Over a
my
beard.
kids over a beard. And not obviously, there's a side to
I'm
every
sorry,
story.
that is not funny.
It was funny
Forgive me.
after the fact, but at the time, it was pretty
Traumatizing.
traumatizing to find that my
Panic.
3 kids were gone.
I mean, we were worried about the 3 kids, and it
Where they
was-
were at and if they were safe. And
regardless of what going on, we still care about them kids.
And now that we know everything worked out, everybody's all right.
I've got sole custody of all 3 children.
And when you look back, do you think that perhaps you should have cut your beard?
No, sir.
No?
No, Your Honor. There were other issues besides the beard shaving
All
contest.
right, something more serious, I hope.
I think that was the nail in the coffin, Your Honor, that pushed her over the edge. And obviously, when you have a third party helping to make decisions for someone, it led her down a road that there were errors
her
and mistakes.
friends from South Carolina, you say, in the lower part of the state?
sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
not them, obviously.
One of them was
no, not
Oh,
one. No, not us.
them.
not them.
Okay, you're so messy. Stop
That's
that
why I'm
gossiping.
saying he's going all over town saying that I was jealous of him and was wanting to leave my husband. And I don't really want the beard either. I'm kind of happy with my husband as we stand.
Plaintiffs Adam McGinnis and his wife Jessica McGinnis say Jessica was good friends with the defendant, but the defendant insists Jessica wanted to date him.
All right, back to the money. Why did he came to you and asked for money?
Yes, sir.
For the purpose of
To hire a private investigator
Okay.
and a lawyer to find his children.
good.
We'd actually went through something similar, and so I kind of helped Chris with that on, file emergency custody. That way, you can get them in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Once he found them, he had the emergency custody, and he immediately went down and picked all 3 children up in Columbia. And thank
When
the
was
Lord,
he to pay you?
He was supposed to pay me by February of 2016.
And has not, obviously.
No, sir.
All right, sir, what do you say to the money?
I took it as a gift, Your Honor. They were helping me, helping our kids come home, and apparently it was not a gift. Once we started discussing that the money needed to be paid back, there was no way that I could repay that in 30 days. I had enough issues going on with the divorce that I did not want to have any other drama or creating a fringe on the friendship more than what it had already been. For not needing or wanting to repay it, it wasn't that there wasn't a need or a want.
How
I
many
couldn't.
times did they ask about repayment?
At least half a dozen.
Half a dozen. And
At
so,
least.
what do you think? They've lost their minds? Or
I don't think
because
that-
you say that there was never an agreement for you to repay. And if 2 people keep bugging you, something wrong with them.
There could be.
Yeah, they keep making this story up. So, anybody have evidence of
Yes, sir.
anything?
Yes,
I
sir.
see stack of evidence you
He ended
have.
up blocking us and stuff like that.
You blocked your call?
No, he blocked our calls.
That's what I'm referring to.
Yeah, blocked us on Facebook.
Because you watch
Had no way to
this.
communicate with him.
Because they kept asking for money that you didn't owe.
Oh,
That's why, right?
that's what I felt, Your Honor.
That's why you blocked it.
Correct.
However, at one point you felt you owed. As I read, I will not lie and say that I have paid you in full by Sunday, but I am doing my best to get you a payment. I just had to pay $4,500 for attorney fees, and I'll try to get you paid as well.
For money that we gave him. Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's explaining away, and here's another day. Why don't we come to a legitimate payment plan? Because all court will do is cost more money. Trying to stay out of court now. And help me get you paid. How much of a payment can you accept? I asked you several times how much you need, but you never gave me an answer. What do you have to say now?
That was after I decided to not ruin a friendship and decided to try to make a payment
Don't
plan.
change your mind now. Judgment for the plaintiff. I believe it was a loan. I believe, based on this testimony, you submitted text messages, and about 6 of them he acknowledged owing a payment plan and begged you not to take him to court. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day. Thank you.
Just glad that it's over and, want to try to get our friendship back and,
Want to see them kids.
want to get back with the kids and see them and spend time with them. And
I think the biggest thing is just exactly putting it to rest and make a better plan to have a little bit more description of what's necessary to not ruin a friendship over $1.
Yep.
Yes.